My name is Jose Chavez. I'm a workers representative here at the Richmond Refinery. I'm also an operator here, a 20-year operator. I work in the hydroprocessing plant. Well, the issue here is that what we have is that the company has, over the last couple years, they've been slowly but surely, attacking our medical and no help. It's always negative on the medical and never any help with it. Our raises get consumed via the medical increases, so the membership is in they feel that they need some help. They feel that a little bit could go a long way with them. The understaffing here in some of the units also is an issue, where we're constantly being worked in excess of maybe 6 days a week, and repetition to where there's no ending to the overwork.
Is that a health and safety issue? I mean, it's stress.
That is a health and safety issue that we have, and the company has not offered anything to address the overworking of the operators. Like I said, we work 12-hour shifts, night and day. It's always running. It's rarely, unless there's an upset or there's planned turnaround work, is the plant down. And even then, if we work a little harder than we would do on a normal day. But I mean, I think what you're seeing right here is that the worker has had enough.
And it takes a lot of training to operate these plants.
Definitely, sir. Myself, it took me about a good 10 years to become head operator in the area that I work in. So it's not something that you can learn overnight in a year. It takes time to understand how equipment works, how the process moves around, and just adjusting to the spec of whatever product you're making in the plant.
And I mean, there have been issues of a lack of health and safety at this facility in the past because of pushing people to do too much and bringing in contractors. There have been explosions. I mean, is there a danger now that they're bringing in replacement workers that might not be trained properly? I mean, if it takes so long?
I would say that currently the refinery, we believe, is staffed with untrained individuals right now.
You have to be certified to work in a refinery?
Well, not just the training that we get, just hands-on training that we get. We have procedures on how we have a process on how we move forward in training. It's not just, hey, just follow that guy around and then learn. There's paperwork that we have to do. There's field work that we have to do, and just sit in your unit for a certain amount of time so that you can qualify in a unit.
It's like an apprenticeship.
Most definitely, it's like an apprenticeship. Yes.
And this company, I mean, Chevron, all the oil companies, not this company, are making a tremendous amount of profit.
We're not asking for much. And we're not asking for much. We're just asking for a little help to help pay for the cost of the increases of the medical. That's all we're asking for.
I mean, this is happening to a lot of workers. They get a wage increase, it goes to medical. They end up not making anything more. And the cost of living in the Bay Area, how do you do it?
We do it like everybody else, paycheck to paycheck. Simple as that. We all try. I mean, certain individuals have different situations at home, but when you have a family, I think with the work that we do, it's kind of hard to have your spouse work a full-time job, because then who watches the kids? Who takes care of the family? If everybody's gone throughout the day or the night, like I said, I work rotating shifts. So
what does that do to your body, working rotating shifts? Talk about that.
It makes us old, but
people don't know.
It's hard to get used to, and I think our sleeping pattern is affected.
The metabolism and everything.
Well, yeah, it's a lot is affected. Sometimes you don't see the effects until you get a good week off of work, and then you're like, well, I feel much better. At least I got when your sleep catches up, you feel better. Sleep is hard here sometimes.
And I mean, is that an issue? I mean, in fact, if people are stressed out, if they're working these 12-hour shifts, rotating shifts, I mean, it sounds like it's extremely problematic for health and safety concerns.
Well, I believe when we're not given the proper time off, that it is an issue. You do get fatigued, and that's what we want. We want a little help to alleviate the fatigue of the worker here at the refinery.
And Chevron, why are they saying they can't provide this? Because I mean, their profits are going up.
If I knew the answer, if you knew the answer, I would like to hear it. I don't know why. I don't understand why. Like I said, I believe we work hard. I believe we give a lot of effort. I believe we carried a lot of that profit during COVID. We didn't get to stay home. We were here the whole time. And
Any people getting affected?
yeah, multiple people. Yes. Yeah. But like I said, we work in control rooms. Sometimes we can't separate. So
Did they give you PPE during that?
for the yes. I'm not going to say that the effort wasn't there. I'm not going to say that. The effort to give proper PPE was there. Sometimes yes, we had to ask for it but the effort was there.
And do you have a health and safety committee in your union?
Yes, we do have we have health and safety committees, and we have health and safety reps, and we have lost a lot of our. Again, throughout the last year, we've lost about 12 safety positions, and our union-led safety program that we had here in the refinery.
How could that be? I mean, with all the dangers, the high dangers in a refinery.
Profit cuts, profit-saving improvement for the company.
And if you don't have a health and safety staff here, doesn't that mean you're going to have more likely a situation where you're going to have dangers to the workers in the community?
One more time, sir, the question?
If you don't have a proper health and safety staff here, isn't that more likely that going to mean that you're going to have health and safety problems? I mean,
that's what we believe, and that's what we. That's what we told the company also, that we were not willing to negotiate our health and safety reps away, our health and safety positions. We weren't willing to trade it for nothing.
So that's what they wanted you to trade, your health and safety reps.
But we did not. But we did lose him. We did lose him, and we tried to get him back via bargaining this time, and we were unsuccessful.
And they've told the community they want to protect the community from any dangers. They've told the community they want to protect the community from any dangers. And
I should be giving you the interview. You know a lot of answers already. Yes. They used a lot of those positions. They touted those positions in a lot of their safety audits here for the Contra Costa safety audit. They even told OSHA that they use these during investigations. So those same positions were touted by the company, but then removed by the company when the Contra Costa audit was complete.
And Cal OSHA, I mean, there were fines previously of Chevron when you had the explosion several years ago. There were hearings, and the community was infected. You know, it seems like they get away with this, and they're not held accountable.
You know what? I couldn't speak on any fines because
I'm not talking about fines. I mean, it just seems like though they promised the community they would have proper health and safety protection. And
it's hence that we lost our health and safety reps, and it is upsetting. It's upsetting because, like I said, for us to have those positions are a plus. With the membership, the workers have somewhere to go to when there is safety concerns. Our procedures are maintained, and now that we have nobody they gave that position. They combined work, so now the trainer is now responsible to do multiple tasks, to where we believe that safety should have a priority and not just given to somebody else to do as secondary work. It should be somebody's primary job to do it, to give attention to those procedures, their safety procedures, their emergency procedures, or even day-to-day procedures. We believe they need to be they need to be looked at the best as possible by a certain individual.
And how many workers work out here?
Man, well, for us, we represent 500 workers out here.
And how many replacements?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We don't know how many replacement workers are in here. If you have that answer for us, you can let us know after the interview.
Do you think Cal OSHA or others should be making inspections to see if these people are qualified?
I believe they are. I believe they are. I believe they are being. Yes, I believe they are. They are in there investigating right now. What they find, I don't know.
Because, I mean, it takes years, you were saying, to become qualified.
And that's our question. And that's our question to OSHA is, why is it that the replacement workers that we haven't seen training in the unit are able to run the unit right now?
Did they bring them in before the strike?
Not that we're aware of.
So these are off the street people that just came in?
Well, I don't know if they're off the street. Maybe some of them are management that held management positions, but you still got to work in the plant. You still, I come off of a 14-day vacation, and it takes me a couple hours to even get situated again. Those guys probably haven't seen a plant or a valve in maybe 5 to 10 years, and now they're in there running the place.
Is this your first strike?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You've been in a union before?
To be honest with you, no, I have not. This is the first time I was ever introduced to any kind of unionism, labor movement, me working here at Chevron.
What would it be like if you didn't have a union?
Oh, we would get beat up. We get beat up now. Just imagine what it would be like if. No, I tell you what, the union it gives you an opportunity to voice concerns. It gives us a voice. Number one, it gives us a voice. It gives us a seat at the table, and it gives us the ability to bring up concerns that if we didn't have it, we would have no ability whatsoever to bring up a concern.
Such as health and safety?
Any kind, you name it, health and safety, just working conditions, schedules, you name it. The union allows us to, like I said, it gives us a seat at the table.
And there are a lot of oil companies that want to get rid of their unions.
I don't know about. I haven't heard about that, but I'm pretty sure.
In the South, Texas.
I'm pretty sure that's probably a goal of a lot of oil refineries. But to be honest with you, I believe that we're a buffer. We're what keeps them running. We're the ones that keep them safe. We're the one that keeps them out of trouble. They might not want to think that, but we are.
Well, you prevent explosions and dangers to the community. Yeah, I mean that's without you guys. I mean that would be
most definite.
Yeah. So how long do you think it's going to last?
That I couldn't tell you. I'm not. I wouldn't want to even put that out there. I don't know.
They're spending a lot of money.
But we're willing to talk, and we're willing to bargain. If they called right now, we would be willing to go. We're willing to sit down at the table. We have not said that we're not willing to sit at the table. We're willing and able to bargain whenever the company's ready to sit with us. And like I said, they spoke to us today, and we plan to meet them again tomorrow.
Hi, my name's Amy Scott Slovic, and I'm a registered nurse. I sit on the Labor Council for Contra Costa. I'm the Sergeant at Arms with them, representing California Nursing Association, and we stand in solidarity with all of our workers. With any, if they take on one of us, they take on all of us, and so we're out here to show support and let Chevron know that they can't mess with working people.
And the issue of health and safety, and that seems to be an important issue to Refinery. I mean, do you have any concerns about that?
Yeah, absolutely. The people that belong taking care of things, for the steel workers, they know what they're doing in there. They've been trained, they're highly skilled, and now they're not in there. And so the people that are doing their jobs, we've got big concerns about scabs that are coming in and doing work that's, the steel workers' work.
And I mean, the oil company seems to have made a lot of profits. I mean, yet they don't want to provide money for health care and that kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. With us, I mean, nurses know with how much corporate health care has taken over. It's no different. You look at how much money Chevron's making, you look at how much money we're all filling up, to get some gas now. They're making exorbitant amounts of profits. There's no reason that they can't have a fair contract with their workers here.
My name is Martha Gruel. I live in a neighborhood not far from here. So besides generally supporting union workers, I'm also supporting these folks' right to not have forced overtime so that they're not too tired to keep the plant safe. It's important to us nearby.
Yeah, I talked to them and they stressed out 14-hour shifts and then rotating shifts, and it has a lot of problem for their health.
Grief, can you keep your attention on your work after that length of time? We want them rested, for our safety and for their own health, of course.
And there have been explosions at this plant before, and after the last one, they had hearings. They said they were going to have proper health and safety. They told me that they got rid of the health and safety inspectors. They wanted them to bargain them away. I mean, what does that mean about?
It's a crime. It means they don't care about their workers, but it also means they don't care about us folks nearby. And look,
how have you been affected personally by these explosions and the venting?
It's stressing. I wasn't here during the big explosion, but I know about it. And knowing that can happen, if there's a noise from this direction, if there's flaring, we see that they're flaring off chemicals because something's going wrong in the plant. That's scary because we don't know what's coming next. Besides, their shipping leaks into the bay, and we have had this shore oiled in the recent past from their shipping operations. And so I'm not an expert on the oversight, but the people doing the work there every day, they're the experts on the oversight. Let's listen to them.
They're flaring and it's not happening.
Yeah, so where's our government to protect us, to protect the workers inside, of course, and to protect the people around, and their air quality problems, their oil releases in the bay, that's not just local. It might be more intense here, but it spreads far beyond.
Cancer.
Not to mention cancer. I've recently lost friends to cancer. It breaks one's heart, which obviously we can't tie to this plant, but it's a scourge. And when they can stop that, why aren't they? Supporting them. I hope they're successful. I hope that they will hold the line and get what they deserve from the company and what the rest of our community deserves too, which is worker safety and community safety.
Are these your children?
Yes.
First time on a picket line?
First time on the picket line, yeah, but they haven't missed any of the rallies since February, last month.
How old are you?
10.
And why are you out here?
To support my dad.
Is your dad an oil worker?
Yeah.
How long has he been working here?
I have no idea.
20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
So this is important to you. Well, I heard that they have these shifts, 14-hour shifts and then rotating shifts.
Oh, yeah.
What does that do to family?
It's hard. He misses out on a lot with the kids, but, you know, we make a way.
But it's, stressful to work that many hours and being with the family and that kind of.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's missed a lot of first steps, a lot of first moments.
Good.
Pays the bills.
Pays the bills. But they want to take away.
Exactly. We have to find something else.
Christina. The strike here because Chevron sucks. They pollute the air, pollute the water, pollute the land. Really affects the people who live here in Richmond, really affects the workers who are working in unsafe conditions. And it's just really amazing to see everyone out here in support. We got the workers out here. We got a bunch of people in the environmental movement and EJ people who are out here supporting, people in the community who are out here supporting. So it's just really, really amazing.
These workers have the support of the community.
Yeah, and that's why I'm here. I want to show support and want them to feel like whatever they need to do to work in a safe place, that we're here to support that.
And Chevron has got a lot of money. They're making a lot of profits. I guess they don't want to share the profits with the workers.
Yeah, that's how it is, right?
What kind of work do you do?
I do activism. I'm an organizer in the Bay Area. Not in Richmond, but through friends, heard that this was happening.
Hi, I'm Steve Ongerth. I am a member of the Bay Area branch of the IWW and also the Inland Boatmen's Union, which is an affiliate of the ILWU. And I live here in Richmond, about a mile from this refinery here.
And this refinery has a long history of health and safety problems. I understand now they're trying to get rid of the health and safety inspectors. It seems like it never ends.
No, it never ends. And what a lot of people don't know about the 2012 explosion, but it was in the Chemical Safety Board report that came out in about 2014, is that these steel workers here, these refinery workers, are the ones that really were trying to blow the whistle on this. They kept going to management and saying, you know, these pipes are getting thin, they need to be fixed, you got to do something about it or it's going to affect the community, and management just shined them on and ignored it, and then sure enough the explosion happened. So, you know, and what's really important to know is that these refinery workers really care about the community and they care about the environment too, because this is the same local that, or one of the many locals that endorsed the California Climate Jobs Report. So they care about the environment too. And so these are really the frontline workers who keep this community safe. And they're playing with fire by having scab managers trying to operate all this equipment behind us, you know, because it takes somebody who's a skilled worker who knows the equipment to keep it running. And I wouldn't trust these paper pushing managers to know what the fuck they're doing, excuse my French, but yeah, I mean, it's like, if it weren't for these guys, there'd be a lot more meltdowns.
And Cal OSHA has been out here. Do you think that they should be allowed to use scabs or replacement workers?
Hell no. But nobody should be able to use scabs anyway. But we have to build a more powerful labor movement, or else we're not going to be able to stop it, because it really depends on the rank and file unions and workers being organized and being, you know, fighting the capitalist system and being militant, because that's how we do it, because it really kind of speaks to our need to get organized.
And, one of the things is they were negligent in that explosion.
Yeah.
People were afraid to speak about it, or they spoke about their fear of being retaliated. And were the company executives held accountable criminally for what they allowed to happen here?
Well, the workers tried, and the Chemical Safety Board was a surprisingly frank report put out by a government agency, but then there was an attempt by the government to kneecap the Chemical Safety Board, of course, as you can imagine. And it's hard to do it because they did try, but it didn't succeed because the capitalist class is just really powerful, and fossil fuels are an incredibly powerful wing of the capitalist class. But it's not for lack of trying on the part of these steelworkers. And what needs to happen is the community needs to get behind them and support them. And it's great to see that there's lots of community people out here, including environmentalists and Richmond progressives who are very critical of fossil fuel capitalism, but it's great to see them standing up and having the backs of these steelworkers when they're on strike, because this is what we need to do.
Do you think that privately owned energy companies can ever be responsible for having a clean?
Absolutely not. It has to be worker run, have to be publicly, democratically run. We can't do it under the capitalist system because the profit motive and the desire to keep accumulating profits and outsourcing the cost is always going to be an incentive to cut corners and to blame the worker first.
And the issue of cancer and the environment here, the toxins that come out here, the flaring, it's still going on.
Oh yeah.
Talk about that.
It's a constant problem. I mean, you'll drive by and you'll see flames coming out of the refinery. I've got video of a fire happening here. And it's like, if these guys who work their asses off, who are like skilled workers, can't keep it from happening, it's an unsafe technology. So, and they would be able to do better if they were listened to, but they're not listened to because, of course, the profit motive. And of course, it affects people in the community. And right across these railroad tracks, which are behind you, Steve, are poor, low-income communities of color like Atchison Village and Parchester Village, and they're bombarded by this stuff. And I know these guys don't want to do that to them. They're just trying to make a living. But yeah, it's a constant problem, and it needs to be addressed.
And right now, there's a war in Ukraine, prices of oil. And what's the war about? Do you think that they're going to benefit from this, the oil companies?
Well, they're certainly going to try because it's disaster capitalism. Where there's a buck to be made, it'll be made. I mean, the war is complex, and there's a lot of difference of opinion on the left about who is responsible. But I think we all agree that militarism has to end, imperialism has to end, and fossil fuel kleptocracy has to end. And so, but
it seems like war is for profiteers. I mean, they made profit during COVID, and they're going to make profit.
Absolutely. The arms contractors profit from it, oil capitalists profit from it. And, that's why we got to end this economic system that's insane and killing our planet and killing all of us and starting wars and trying to put these guys out of work or give them substandard contracts. It's time for this beginnings of the strike wave we've been seeing to just really ramp it up to the next level. And that's why we got to come out as a community, as other union members, and support workers wherever they're on strike, whether it's refinery workers or Teamsters or nurses or whatever.
And the ILWU has a tradition of supporting other workers. I understand on May Day they're going to be going out with teachers in Oakland. What's happening with that?
Well, that's partly to oppose privatization of the Oakland schools, but also this insane ballpark plan, which is going to be
John Fisher, the owner of the A's in the Gap,
land speculator who wants to build luxury condos in a place where they should just not be doing it. If the Oakland A's want a new stadium, they should just rebuild it at the Coliseum. That's a land speculation scheme. And yeah, I mean, that's one of many things that'll be happening. The ILWU has also pledged their solidarity for this strike here.
I'm Jerome Miller. We feel good. So many people have come to join us. And what's a safer refinery is a safer community. And so we they're cutting our jobs, they're cutting staffing, safety-intensive positions. I'm not the official spokesperson for the union, but just as an operator, I've seen them cut procedure writer positions. It's becoming harder and harder to fight management and say, no, we will run the refinery in a safe and a reliable manner. And so it just got to a point to where we had to take this stand.
It must be frustrating. You're trying to protect health and safety at a dangerous facility.
And why should you have to negotiate that? That should be something that's already a given, right? So, the fact that we're understaffed, you got operators working all this overtime, and so there's, fatigue, risk management issues. And so it's just enough is enough.
I mean, after the last explosion that they had here, they promised that they were going to make sure that it was properly staffed. I mean, it seems like that's gone by the wayside.
Yeah, it's gone by the wayside. There's been some ebbs and flows, but by and large, we're still short-staffed. And it just got to a point to where we don't want to put up with these conditions anymore.
And the other thing some of your members have said is healthcare costs have gone up 30%.
Absolutely.
Talk about that.
Well, you know what? We heard it when 30%, 23% or whatever, and we heard the cost. This is not official, but we heard the cost. I heard the cost for the refinery to implement their benefits plan only went up 2%. Yet they shift costs to us 23, 30% or whatnot. So we just asked for a little bit of help. We're in the Bay Area, one of the hardest areas to afford in the country. So just a little bit of help on cost of living, a little bit of help on inflation. But we're not asking for much. It's just basic things that people need. After 20 years that's how long I've been here. It's like enough is enough. So.
And I mean, it amounts with this inflation, it's going to amount to a pay cut. You're actually going to lose money staying to work. Is that?
That's exactly what's been happening. So we appreciate you all being here to support us. The Labor Council and USW Local 5. Everybody's coming together. So we just appreciate the airtime.
What's your name?
I'm Jerome Miller.
And you're 20 years.
20 years here.
Is this your first strike?
This is my first strike. It's a couple of times it's gotten kind of close, but it's a shame that during a time period when they've made so much profit, I heard $15 billion, the most they've profited in the last 8 years, that we have to be out here. It's sad.
It sounds like it's never enough for them.
It's never enough. Greedy big oil, I guess, right?
And Cal OSHA, I mean, it seems like they brought in replacement workers. Who are they? Are they trained? I mean, it takes a long time to be trained as an operator here.
It takes a lot of training, very meticulous training, and you're being trained by people that have decades of training, and they've been trained by people that have decades of training. So how they're able to staff up in a matter of weeks or months or whatnot to replace workers that have been here for years and years, decades, I don't know. But OSHA, I'm sure, takes big issue with that.
Unfortunately, there are only less than 200 inspectors for 18 million workers in California, so I don't know how much protection you're going to get.
We hope it's enough for them to come in here and find out that, hey, things are not being run the way it should be. It's already been incidents and things taking place. So
what's happened?
Yeah, well, when we moved out, when we were kicked out, I guess you should say.
You were locked out?
Flaring incidents. Walked out, exactly. There were flaring incidents within 8 hours. 3 flaring incidents. So
It's flaring. They say that they're going to cut it down and knock it out. What's going on?
Hey, you know what? It's all about running the plant in a safe and a reliable fashion. That's really what it's about. And unfortunately, you find that management is continuously pushing the envelope, and we have certain pockets of operation we should stay within, and they're getting outside of those pockets, outside of those squares, if you will, and just not running the refinery in a reliable fashion. So.
And they want to negotiate out health and safety committees, is that true?
That's exactly. So we've had safety intensive positions that they've gotten rid of, procedure writers, incident investigation that heads that up. It's a union managed, it's run by the union, but it's something that the union the company used to support. And all of a sudden that became not important. I guess they want to do their own investigations and have their own spin to it or whatever. But we think it's the most successful safety program in the history of this refinery. So it's sad they saw fit to get rid of that.
So you're fighting not only for yourselves, but the community who is affected by these flares and health and safety.
Absolutely, because like I said earlier, we feel like the safer and more reliable and compliant that we can run the refinery, the better and safer it is for the community.
As you can see right now, I got a little bit of scruff going. That's how long they've had us out here, while they have unqualified people inside running these plants, or trying to anyway.
Name's Al Cruz. I work here at the Chevron Refinery for the last 24 years. Our struggles have been pretty much the same in the oil industry over and over. It's about our job safety, on how we manage, boiling oil, basically distillation in the process, and how over the years safety has taken a back seat in a lot of the industry, where they're more concerned of a more of a PR issue, where not repairing or being competitive in a different sense, where they are more at cutting costs to save and be more competitive. So they're not here to attract or invest in the refineries, so they're more efficient, safer, or being able to optimize what you put through it. It's just basically whatever garbage they can bring in for the cheapest amount of money and the least amount of spent to keep these units operable in a most economic way. As an operator myself, I work in one of the main crude distillation units here, and it's a constant battle to try to keep the company to adhere to their own rules and policies, instead of trying to find the gray areas where the work and the profits come into play.
And this plant has a history, as do all refineries, but one of the things that happened in 2014, there was an explosion here, and workers tried to report it, to try to get them to deal with the leaks and that kind of thing. I mean, I understand now that they're trying to get rid of the health and safety committees or negotiate them out, and I mean, it seems like it's the same old story. The workers here are trying to protect your health and safety, your own, and the communities, and it's a constant battle. That's correct.
And just to kind of correct the record there, it was in 2012 where we had the incident here at the Richmond Refinery. It was in the unit that I was working, and there was a lot of warning signs ahead of time. CSB has a report out. You can find that in the CSB website and find their findings and report on that. There was a lot of bantering back and forth on who actually should make the call. And the reality is it should be the operators that are working those units, especially the position of the head operator, that needs to make those decisions and not feel pressured to keep a unit operating while upper management decides, should they take the unit down, what is it going to look like to the community, what impact is that going to have on profits. They'll deny all of it, but it all plays into effect into people's decisions out here. In this community, we care about this community, and that is one of our major priorities out here as operators. Is the last thing we want to do is impact the community and the environment, and that is number one above all, is the safety of ourselves inside, the people we work with, contractors and other operators, and the community. And that's number one. And if we have to deny management's wishes at times for pushing something more than we feel it's comfortable, we'll make those decisions and we'll tell them no.
So that's why you have some community support out here. You seem to have a lot of support out here.
Correct. And that's how we came in 2012, 2011, I believe. We met with APEN and CBE, and we spoke with them, and we explained the process and how it works out here, and what our role as operators and what we do to help protect the community from, fires, leaks, anything that can impact the community around us and our children, right? Because that's our future here, and that's one thing we don't want to impact.
For our health and safety.